Hey guys, this is CG Animator, and today we're going to be starting a fairly long tutorial series on creating characters. And this isn't a Blender tutorial in general, this is just a character creation tutorial and how I create characters and how you can too if you like the way I do it. And the way I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a fairly detailed base within Blender that looks pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and go over to ZBrush and sculpt in some details. And the reason why I won't use Blender for the sculpting is for two reasons. Number one, I just like ZBrush better than Blender for the sculpting. It just feels a little more intuitive to me. And my tablet doesn't react to the pressure sensitivity settings within Blender for some reason, so it's not really much of an option anyway. So we'll be using Blender and ZBrush, and maybe we'll even, once we're done, import it back into Blender and make an AO render, and then do a paint over in Photoshop. But that's a possibility. But mainly, I want to keep this on modeling. So the reason I haven't made a tutorial in so long, just for you guys wondering, is because once my internship ended, the guys over at Brand New School, the owner, offered me a full-time job there as a staff member. So that's my official job now. I've been learning like a lot there, so it's going to be much easier when I do have time to do tutorials to make them more professional. And it's been really great working at Brand New School, and I got to use Blender on a few of the commercials. So once they're posted, I'll show you guys and tell you what was made with Blender and things like that. Alright, so what we're going to be creating today is I saw the Cowboys and Aliens trailer. And I thought it'd be cool to make kind of like an alien that was kind of like a cowboy, but had like a huge samurai sword or something. We're just gonna be kind of creative, and I have no. That's kind of all I have. All I really know is that I want him to be pretty tall and pretty slender, but kind of like pretty dense in terms of muscles. Like he's pretty strong, but he's pretty slender, and he has kind of an attitude, and that he has kind of a tall body, and that's pretty much all I have right now. So we're just gonna explore this. And just to let you guys know also is that I'm gonna be doing this real time, but once it gets to the fact where we're doing very tedious things, I'm just gonna time lapse that and then do commentary because if I'm spending 4 hours just doing little detail work that I've shown you guys for the past hour and a half, I'm just gonna time lapse that into like maybe 10 minutes or something like that. It'll be much better that way. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the way I'm gonna get started is we'll go ahead and delete this cube. Oh, and for those who wonder, I'm using Blender 2.5, the fifth release, I think it is, the beta version. I wonder if we can check here. No, but yeah, I'm using Blender 2.55. Alright, so let's go ahead and press Shift A. Let's go ahead and bring in a cylinder. Let's just make this 12. Let's go in the top view here, and let's rotate this 15 degrees to make sure that everything aligns within the center. And then we'll go ahead and go into face select mode. And also forgive me if I'm a little slow these first few parts because over at Brand New School I use Maya all day, so I'm still in Maya mode a little bit. So forgive me if I get confused a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and delete that half, and we'll delete the caps as well. Oops. If you accidentally click somewhere else and you want it to be in the center, just press Shift C, and that should do it. So let's go ahead and add a mirror modifier. Okay. Everything looks good. So now we can just go ahead and start shaping. Also, I will pull up some reference once we get kind of detailed, and I'll show you guys all the reference, and then I'll even put it up for download so you guys can download the same reference. But as of right now, I have 0 reference to work from. Alright, so let's say this is his torso. I'm gonna extrude once up. Oh, let me press Control Z. Make sure you turn on clipping so we can't stray away from the center. So press E to extrude. Let's bring this up. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is right under his arm. This is gonna be right here. This is gonna be like at the end of his rib cage, and we'll make this his pelvis. Alright, sorry, that's me doing my stuff again. Alright, so I want him to be fairly large, so let's go ahead and bring this, not large but tall. So let's bring this, have a fairly normal rib cage, and then his torso should be really long and really like defined and really cut muscle wise. So this will be the top of his pelvis right there. And remember, every single thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be very, very open to change. So keep that in mind. Alright, so this will be his crotch area, and we'll go ahead and delete these parts here, delete those faces, and then we'll scale these on the y-axis. This we're just gonna have to GY1, no, that's too much. GY 0.5, GY negative 0.5, and then we'll just go ahead and fill this face here. And then this is his groin. Move this in. So that way we can just extrude some legs down from this. Alright. Okay. So that looks pretty good. So start scaling this way. I'm gonna try to make this character really fun and really with a lot of character, because those are the most memorable characters anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and add 2 loops here. FX, and we might have to retopologize this at some point, just because sometimes you can go a little crazy with this stuff and it won't look good. So we might just have to clean it up a little bit. I'm not going to do any major stuff right now. I just want to get the silhouette looking pretty cool. Alright. Then bring this light out in front, just because. Alright, so now let's go ahead and so let's say, this is his torso here. This is the start of his rib cage, I guess. We need to bring this down here. Bring this here. And also, if you guys don't want me to do that time-lapse thing, just put it in the comments, and I won't do it. Because, this isn't for me, this is for you guys. So, if you guys don't want it, I won't do it. Okay, starting to get some form here. And he's gonna have these like really cool ab muscles that will make him look really neat. But that's all really later in the process. So can start sculpting in his back just a little bit. We're just getting impressions right now. Nothing serious. We don't even have a real concept behind any of this stuff. I might change the concept later, and because it's all up to what you guys want, or what the creator of the piece feels. Alright, so I feel like detail wise we're a little. Oh, and also one thing you should know when sculpting, make sure you have the topology where you want it to be. And what I mean by that is make sure that if you want a bunch of detail in the face, you have a bunch of polygons in the face, because if I divide this polygon right here, this is going to be split into four polygons, and one polygon will be this size here. But if I split this one, I'll have one really long and much bigger polygon than this one. So if I want more detail up here, I'm going to make sure that there's more edge loops up here than down here. But generally, you kind of want to have an even amount of detail. But I'm just saying, if you if you do want, not a lot of detail in places and just a lot of detail in other places, that's what you'll want to do. All right. So what I did there, I'm just kind of starting to hint at a pelvic bone here. Not doing a great job as of right now. And also, one thing that's so important when you get to that point is reference. Once we get to the actual anatomy parts, and I'm like actually blocking in this stuff, I will be looking at a lot of reference. And that's one thing that I've been learning at Brand New School, is that reference can make or break you. So I use reference for everything now. I didn't really use reference before, but now I'm a really really firm believer in that reference really helps you. Here I'm just adding some geometry to this. We can actually bring in this bottom piece here. Okay, it's starting to look kind of okay. Still got a lot to do though. I'm gonna press O for the I forgot what this is called, proportional editing tool. It's been a while since I've used Blender. Alright, just gonna slim this up a bit. Make sure you always want to keep round surfaces. Alright, let's see how long we've been going. Not that long. We can keep going. Okay, so now we're just gonna kinda give this torso a little more detail here. Just a few more, because we want to keep an even amount of edge loops here. Let's go ahead and fix up this. Smooth. Bring up the iterations over there. Let's go ahead and smooth out this whole back area. Just W smooth, and just delete this. Well, not delete. We'll get rid of that selection and just kind of give it an even amount of detail. One thing that's really cool, in my opinion, in terms of anatomy, is our back muscles. I think they look really cool, so we're gonna give them. But we're not gonna define them too much if we're not gonna, see his muscles. If he's just gonna be like have a shirt on with a jacket, we're not gonna put that much detail into it. Right now I'm looking, this rib cage is way too big, because I'm thinking, his pectoral muscles are gonna have to go, are first gonna be here, so we're gonna move that down. So we're gonna press G, bring up this, press Z, sorry. Alright, and then press grow our selection with Control Plus. Let's just move it like that. Alright. And also a thing to note is that everything, no matter what you do, has an ugly phase. Every single model I do goes through a very, 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 very ugly phase. And it's just something that happens. And it's especially when you want to show people stuff, but you're like, oh, it looks crap. It's really it's not really motivating when you see your stuff and it doesn't look good. But if you just keep to it, it'll look great. You just have to be willing to put the time in. Now there's some guys that are just natural at it, that can just everything looks exactly how they want it to look at the beginning. But for most people, that's a really hard thing to do. All right, so I think we have a good start here, and let's go ahead and save it. File, save as. Desktop. I need to go to my desktop. Blender tutorials, character creation, and we'll call this character creation part 1. Okay, and I'm gonna save this in my blend files. Okay, save as Blender file. And okay. If we're not too far, maybe we'll do a little more. No, I'd say we're good for now. So thanks for watching part 1 of this, and be sure to watch the future parts. Alright guys, thanks. Bye.